Alright, hello again guys and welcome back to my channel, and it's here. Guilty Gear Strive is already here, the deluxe and the ultimate editions are already out, so I decided guys to show you the first video that I specifically made for this game, in which I wanted to show you the efficiency of rollback when you're trying to play from Europe to Japan. So Japan is, as we all know, the holy land of Japanese fighting games. So since the rollback netcode was so highly praised and everybody was excited to see the opportunities that it's going to provide. By the way, some of my previous videos I was a little bit kind of like almost sounded critical, but I, just like every other person, want to have a rollback in all fighting games. I just find the conversation around it to be a little bit annoying, but enough of that. I wanted to test how I can play with Japan from Europe. I'm more specifically in Eastern Europe, so technically speaking, I am closer to Japan compared to the United Kingdom, for example, or Sweden. So I wanted to see how the rollback will handle a connection like that in some older GGPO and other like non-current day games. I have tried to play like Brazil and Japan and America, and I was only able to play America without lag on Summer Showdown 5 Special. That was something like 10 years ago or something, but now with Guilty Gear Strive and all the excitement about Guilty Gear Strive, I wanted to see if I will be able to play Japan without any significant problems. So as you saw, I'm in the Japanese server, and yeah, you're going to see you have to, if you dislike Kai Kiski, you have to suffer through some mirror matches here. So sorry about that, but the main point is to try and see how the rollback will take effect. Of course, these tests need to be more extensive, maybe in a longer period of time, but I want to just do a day one impressions of the rollback netcode and how it will handle rollback between Eastern Europe and Japan. So as you saw there was a slight moment. Let me try and roll it back here a little bit on the replay. As you saw, there was a brief moment of skipped animation. It happened a couple of times. So the most common thing that you're probably going to see is when someone jumps and he does a double jump, but the animation looks like the character is falling to the ground and not doing the second jump. This is probably the most confusing part, and the other is kind of like a typical reaction of long distance rollback. When you hit someone, you have hit him on block, but in the animation actually looks like you have hit him directly without him being able to hold block. So this is slightly confusing. Whenever you see something like, of course it might be different in Strife and these more modern fighting games, but when you see 238 milliseconds and 7 frames of rollback, even without me telling you that I'm playing against Japan, you can probably tell that I'm not playing in my own region. Normally how it should look like, in my opinion, the Guilty Gear game that I have played the most online was Guilty Gear XX Reload on PC. I don't know if you remember, some of you, but this game some time ago was playable through some kind of emulation on PC, and it was very nice. It's similar to how Ascent Core Plus R is right now, but from that perspective, when I play within my region, I usually see something like 60 to 70 ms or ping, and there were no rollback frames shown or anything like that, but the game was running fine. And here there are some stutters here and there. It's like I said, it's like a typical rollback. in long distance matches, but it's playable. So I wanted to try out in the subsequent games. I wanted to try out to do some specific matchup things. I'm very experienced as a Kai player. I pretty much play Kai in every single Guilty Gear game because he's kind of like a basic Shoto character. I'm gonna play other characters too in this game, but for now I'm gonna stick with him until I get more familiar with the matchups and system. But some specific things in the Kai mirror matches are things like whenever you see someone throw a stun edge, you can dive beneath him with the stun deeper sweep. And I try to do that on reaction to see how it's going to play out, and I wasn't able to do it, guys. Like, I have played all the 3 betas so far. I am kind of like familiar with the system, but there's still some things that react to kind of like instinctively in a bad way. So for example, here I wanted to do a standing S into a stun deeper, but in Straf I think it's better to just do a 2S into down back S or 2S into stun deeper, something like that. Standing S is not a very good option in the longer distance here. But I wasn't able to do that thing. Whenever you see someone throw a stun edge or the charge stun edge, you can dive beneath him, or of course do an air dash. So the matchup plays, in my opinion, pretty much the same as in previous games. There is no the noob gimmick test with the grid saver. There is an overhead and people have to react to it, and if you see someone doesn't react to it, that means that they are not very experienced with the game. But the grid saver equivalent move in this game is not really is not that much of a threatening move. It's kind of like a combo extender. Okay, so I was able to bring him to the corner here. I'm putting up some pressure. I don't know, I wanted to do something else, but I did a throw attempt instead. So here I'm just trying to see how the connection plays out, trying out some jabs to just see how what is the sensation of the speed of the game, and he seemed to got frustrated, that Japanese player. But overall, I'm going to repeat this probably a couple of times, guys. I think that the connection, based on the test that I made on day 1, the connection is playable, but I don't think it's optimal. Like when you have such a good rollback, as you saw another skip there, when you have such a rollback, it's probably a better idea to just expand beyond your immediate region. For example, in my case, Europe. But then go to the next immediate region, not necessarily try to go across the ocean. So in my case, I want to be able to play the Middle Eastern countries, maybe Africa, maybe China. I tried to play Korea and it was slightly better compared to Japan, but it was basically having some of the same rollback reactions as you saw here. So in my opinion, this is a separate topic, but I think that Russia is kind of like a very strong region, and it will, in some time in the future, it will prove to be something like a hidden Pakistan, like it was in Tekken. So I'm really excited to play Russian players. I'm going to try to play the East Coast of the US, although, like I said earlier, I think that the United Kingdom and Sweden and probably Italy have a better chance and will have a better connection playing with the East Coast, because the East Coast is closer to us here in Europe. But okay, so here the frames look a little bit better. I'm at 175 ms and 4 rollback frames, so here it's slightly better, but again you can see this the stuttering happening a couple of times. I don't know how else to explain it. Like it's a very specific rollback thing that like if you have played a fighting game that has a rollback and has these types of effect, you pretty much instantly recognize it. And I think you can see it in my replays that I have recorded here. So by the way, this guy's name is, I cannot see the kanji from here, but it says something like deathmatch. Deathmatch. Can't read here, but whatever. Maybe if it's something like the Kyushu region, which is to the west of Japan and of course closer to us in Europe, you might find some matches that are absolutely totally playable. But like I said, although I really want to play Japan, I don't really think it's optimal to try and go in that extreme direction and still have these stutter effects. Although the game has a rollback, which is obviously awesome. But I'll probably end up playing still only Europe and Russia, and I'll try China, though I'm not sure how to find it in the lobbies. I'll try China, Korea, and the Middle East. And if East Coast works fine, it will be awesome. But so far, when I'm seeing how things are with Japan, I'm not exactly 100% sure that I will have a good connection with the East Coast. I'm at 50 upload, 50 download. So I don't know. It really becomes, at some point it becomes a distance thing, and as much as rollback is really a game changer in terms of net play, in my opinion, there are some certain regions that still won't be able to play against each other. It will be exciting to see something like the West Coast. If the West Coast can play the central part of Japan, the Tohoku region, without any problems, then we are going to have these wonderful online sessions in which you are going to have some of the best players from the US, like PZK, for example, or Lord Knight, or what was this guy, the false player? False player that lived in Japan for a period of time. I forgot his name. I'm blanking on the name right now. Sorry about that, guys. But it's going to be cool to see something like Team Battles 505 online between Japan and the West Coast. And yeah, it's very helpful. Like find the conversations about the rollback code on Twitter, especially, and on the internet, to be slightly annoying with the constant bitching and moaning. But when you actually see a game like this, and it's Guilty Gear, which is one of the most beloved franchises, although people still not very happy with some parts of the gameplay of Guilty Gear Strive compared to the previous more complex games, but it's really refreshing to be able to play online without all these hassles and all these conditions, and whoever is on, whoever is off at what specific time. I'm going to talk about that hidden very big advantage of Rollback Netcode some other time. But so far I'm happy. In any other game probably I won't be able to play matches of that quality, and although it's somewhat problematic at times, I think overall I'm happy, and I'll be happy to try and maybe find some of the... I want to play Giuna. I know that he's in Japan. I want to play Giuna. I want to play Ogawa. He's my kind of like a hero in Guilty Gear. I want to play from the Japanese players, online or otherwise. I want to play Ogawa in Guilty Gear. I want to play Chibita in Virtual Fighter. These are some of the legends of the Japanese FGC, and I really want to try some matches against them. So that was my short little experiment with the Rollback Netcode of Eastern Europe playing against Japan in the online mode. So I hope you guys like it. I'm going to have 4 more videos for Guilty Gear Strive on this channel in a matter of a couple of hours. I'm going to upload some of the anime story parts of Guilty Gear Strive with slight commentary. I hope you're going to like them. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Expect much more Strive content in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you again with Guilty Gear Strive very soon.